Hi, my name is Adze. One of the directors of Red Ink.
My name is Zina Peterson, and I'm one of the directors and the cinematographer of Red Ink.
My name is Thabo Boom, and I'm one of the producers on Red Ink.
Hi, I'm Angela Makolwa. I'm the author of the book Red Ink. I'm also executive producer on the show, and I have co-written some of the content of the show.
We both love this genre, kind of crime thrillers, this dark nature of these kind of stories, and we've always wanted to tell a story like this. So we're quite happy that we had this opportunity and got this opportunity to tell this story.
I mean, it's been exciting, I think primarily for me, especially because I'm one of the fans of the book. I read the book, I think maybe in 2016. So having read it and really being excited about the book and the narration in the book, and to actually see it coming to life, it's been exciting. Seeing the characters that you had imagined prior, being casted and being on set has been such an amazing experience.
The story of Red Ink is an interesting one because it was actually supposed to be non-fiction. I was a journalist, a crime reporter, and I was covering a case about a serial killer who was terrorizing young Black women in the late 90s. And once he was sentenced, I wrote to him. I wanted an exclusive. I wanted to interview him behind bars to find out why he did what he did. He didn't respond to my letter until about 8 years later. He called and he wanted me to write his life story. And I started going to visit him at the Pretoria Maximum Security Prison, where he was incarcerated, and with the intention of writing this book. But I was dealing with a psychopath, and he was dishonest during our interviews, and there were many things that made me just uncomfortable with our interactions, and so I decided to stop writing the book. But a few years later, I actually had kind of an epiphany that I have the material. I spent many months going to see this person, and I thought that the story was still an interesting story that needed to be told. An interesting South African story because we're such a violent society. And I just felt that there was a need to just revisit that. And also, more importantly, I think we all want to know why somebody would be that evil. And I think we struggle to understand that capacity for evil. And I think that was the reason, basically, I wanted to talk to this person and interview him. And I felt that it would be something interesting to share with the world.
Okay, for me, the biggest highlight is always working with the crew and also meeting these new amazing actors. We've got a really good bunch of actors, and the performances have just been out of this world. So I really enjoy that process of making a series like this.
Well, for me, it's pretty much like what Zino said. The exploration of what the characters are going through and their journeys is always something to look forward to. And every time we rock up in the morning, we have those conversations. It's just mind-blowing, the different opinions and perspectives that people have about one thing, and how you can bring all of those things to make sense and to be entertaining for the audience as well.
It's always disturbing to go into that darkness. And I think I actually have so much empathy for the actors now, just witnessing them shooting the scenes, because it's a very difficult place to go to, especially with the darker characters like Napoleon Dingiswayo, who's the serial killer. So I guess it's part of just that theater of the imagination that, as a writer, I had a very great line. I think it was from Aaron Sorkin. He says, write your villain as if you're making his case with God. And I think how that is interesting is that as much as you delve into the darkness of that character, ultimately they're still a human being.
Yeah, they're very, very layered. I mean, Lucy, for example, is one of the most complex characters I had the pleasure to work with. But I think it's primarily viewing them as human beings and understanding them that they're going to be the characters that an audience need to identify with. Even if you don't know serial killers, you knew people that were people before they were serial killers. So it's about identifying the human aspect of the stories and what makes them great humans or relatable humans at the very least. So that's been the way to approach them, and then you get to understand how complex they are, how they get there, and telling a story and a journey that helps to explain to the audience how we actually got to these characters being what they are.
It's in the start. It's a roller coaster ride, no doubt about that. It's a dramatic thriller. It's fun to watch. It's accessible. It's scary at times. It leaves you on the edge of your seat.
Like a mature show. It's an easy, mature show that's just, it's thrilling.
Every episode has so many turns that you would think you're at the end of the episode, but you'd be on minute 13, It has so many exciting things in terms of how we relate, men and women, how they relate, and how we relate to violence. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of thriller, it's a lot of action and everyday life, which we, love and romance that we all relate to,
Desiree gonna watch this and go, you know. She was like, you guys talk so much. She's gonna be like, why did you guys say that? That's like, not the show.